All right. The red light is on. Better late than never, L. Dawson. I'm Dave Van Auken. Fight Banana Show every Tuesday. February 24th, I think the date is. I just looked that up. L, how are you?
I'm good. I am really tired, but
Okay.
I had an awesome weekend. My family all just left. I hosted a 30-person family reunion at my dad's house on Sunday.
Let's go. How fun was that?
It was really fun. It was a
Good.
good time. Like
Good,
probably
good.
we had in some cases three. We have any four generation? No, three generations of people.
Okay.
It's pretty cool.
So a little bit older there, in the middle, and then baby. So you're in the middle stage of life, right? You're in that. Okay.
Yeah. It's there's a lot of cousins my age. So
Okay.
I've got like 40 something cousins just on my dad's side. So this was like my dad's side of the family.
That's
Is
awesome.
It was
That's
fun.
awesome.
It's fun.
Loved it, man. We had a busy weekend at the Van Aukens. We had one of the best Saturdays ever. We had all these plans and everything. Saturday was beautiful. It was actually spring. We are back in winter now. I don't know where you live, folks. It is freezing in Florida right now. Wild. Back in winter. But it was cool, man. Fights on Saturday night. I was kind of gone during the day. You were texting me during the prelims. I was like, L, I'm at my third carnival of the day. The girls and Dylan's seventh bounce house and petting zoos and food. We ate out of a food truck 4 times on Saturday. So that's good living. That's good living, you know. But we had a great Saturday. And then Sean Strickland was like, "Hey guys, I used to be the world champion. Thank you for overlooking me. Because I did. Oh, I think you did as well.
Yeah.
We overlooked Sean Strickland.
I guess okay, so my question is, did Fluffy look bad, or does Sean Strickland make people look bad? Like so this is what I kind of saw.
That's
This
like
is
the
what
chicken and the egg, L.
yeah,
Like
I thought Sean Strickland did look really good,
he did. He did.
but also I'm not sure Fluffy really looked quite like himself. I thought he fought a pretty solid first round, and then his coaches gave him phenomenal corner advice that he didn't utilize at all in round two.
Right.
Um, I feel like we saw these flurries of what we know Fluffy for, which is this heavy pressure, high volume. We didn't really see his up down. Like, he hits you with the up down. You're thinking about the shot and the punches at any given moment. Dude, yeah. Someone who cares says Dave treats his kids so well. You guys don't know. Dave is like dad of the century. Those kids
Just a
have got
dad. Just a dad.
I I do think Sean fights wrestlers well,
He
which is
does.
kind of strange because he doesn't really fight grapplers the way most people would fight a grappler well. Like he has not good footwork. He's very flat. He stands very tall, but and he doesn't fight super long, but he's so big and strong, and he almost makes I feel like he makes guys not want to shoot on him as much.
I, Al, and I am a amateur at the knowledge that you have. You are so much more smarter than I am in the fight game and techniques and seeing stuff in footwork. But I say stuff like this all the time, and I know sometimes so wild in life, sometimes the simplest things could be the smartest thing or the easiest way. Remember when Poetan fed Ankalaev the second time? I'm like, hey, Alex, you cannot fight like you did last time. Like, you go and be you. Go punch, go hook him to death. And if you get taken down 2.5 minutes, you're going to lose the fight. And that's it. And he won the fight in a minute. Sean Strickland kind of does that. He's like, hey, guys, I'm not going to let Fluffy be Fluffy. Like, I'm going to do my thing. If I lose or get out wrestled or smashed, he does that once, but he doesn't lose a lot. Like, Sean Strickland fights fighters. Fluffy fought Strickland's fight on Saturday.
100%.
Strickland didn't fight Fluffy's fight. Like, he just didn't.
100%. And this is what I saw. I feel like we saw Fluffy maybe win back the end of that first round by being Fluffy. He did shoot. We saw some of this volume, and then I feel like his corner told him exactly what he needed to. Hey, you cannot throw one punch at a time. We need to
Yeah.
stay a little tighter defensively. You need to pressure. You need to throw more volume. You can't trade one for one with Sean Strickland. And
Right.
and and that's And then he came out and that's what he did. And we didn't even really see him shoot again after that first round. Like we saw some little haphazard attempts or he's just trying to like press him against the cage. He's not taking Sean Strickland down like that.
Yeah.
And so I felt like 100% he did not fight his fight. Fluffy did.
Yeah.
And
did, like,
and so I feel like we saw him do well in the few moments where he did have this really nice body, head back to the body, these little flurries of pressure where he stepped through more. We saw that he could have success in this fight. And to be honest, in those moments, there wasn't anything where I particularly saw Sean, like, he didn't make him pay in those moments. Do you have two streams going, Dave? What are you doing? What's happening? Can you take your phone off?
Yeah. How do you do that? I'm sorry.
You have to remove yourself, dude. You're echoing.
I did it.
Okay. No, the phone is literally still open. Like you have to leave the studio from your phone.
How do I do that?
Oh my gosh. I can't remove you.
I'm like a kid.
What are you doing, Dave? Okay. Anyway, it wasn't like when he did have those moments that like, Sean Strickland made him pay in that moment. Like, and he like stopped him in his tracks. It's almost like he had success and then he went back to playing Sean's game. And then he'd like lose a minute and a half of the round and then he would flurry again and have success, you know?
Yeah.
And I don't disagree with Jake's comment here. Like a chiseled middleweight versus a flabby welterweight. Like Fluffy has always been a smaller middleweight, but he's fought big, jacked middleweights. Done fine.
Yeah.
Michelle Pereira is a perfect example of that. But he smothered Michelle.
Yes.
It was this constant up, down, shooting, throwing. Like there was no breaks in between to allow Michelle to start playing his game. And I didn't see that this time. I will say Sean Strickland is an obscenely large middleweight. Like he is massive.
He's massive. And real quick, and you can, Elle, please take it away after I say this line. And you said something, and you know me and life and how I live and all that stuff, and I just live this way. I am a more positive person than a negative person. So a lot on Sunday and Monday, I heard a ton of, man, Fluffy Hernandez, maybe he's not the real deal. Oh, Fluffy Hernandez wasn't ready for the moment. Oh, main event fight in Houston. Did Fluffy, guys, I'm tired of all that. Like Fluffy Hernandez maybe didn't have his best fight, but give Sean Strickland the credit and the flowers, and he had a great fight. Maybe Strickland wasn't his best on that Saturday, and maybe a big part of it was because Strickland was maybe one of his best fights. Maybe top three opponent. You know, what he did to Izzy in Australia, 2 years ago was phenomenal. Strickland was phenomenal on Saturday night, and he was.
Here's this comment from John Dong. How would Prime Whitaker in 2016 Yoel Romero do against Strickland? That's a very specific.
I know.
Yoel Romero. That was before we got really boring Yoel Romero fights. Honestly, I feel like all these fights are interesting. And this, John, your question beforehand, if MVP was still at middleweight, how would him and Strickland go? I think it might be a boring-ish fight, but I would still want to see it because I'm curious what would happen. You're so glitchy, Dave. I'm sorry.
Am I?
You're so glitchy.
I'm leaving. Give me 2 minutes. I'll be right back.
Okay, Dave's going to jump off. I don't disagree with what Dave's saying here. I think oh my goodness. David. I can't take him anywhere. Anyway, man, I feel like Sean does this to people. Like he's so big, he's so awkward, and you get hit from kind of with these weird looping punches. And I think it just kind of stunned Fluffy a little bit. I didn't even really see Fluffy faint very much. And usually he's one of those guys that can't stop moving. And this was one of the stillest Hernandez fights I think I've seen. I feel like that's just what the story was in this fight. And like I said, I'm not taking flowers away from Sean Strickland. He fought beautifully. he does what he does. Like, I don't think there has been an evolution of Sean Strickland. He is going to beat most of the middleweights with a nasty teep, a super hard jab. And to be honest, he was letting the right hand go quite a bit more than I think we normally see. And I think Fluffy was allowing him to do that. I don't think there was enough risk for Sean Strickland for him to not be to be worried enough to not throw that right hand as much as he was. So I feel like those two things just they just chewed up Fluffy. And in 100%, Notorious Viet said Fluffy didn't shoot a real takedown to the legs at all that fight. I think we saw maybe one kind of where he like went high over the shoulder and then on the single, but it wasn't a great shot. And I just, yeah, I don't know if it was something Sean was doing or if Fluffy was just off, but I expected him to shoot at least 2 to 3 times around. And I was pretty disappointed not to see that because at that point, I think Strickland realized he didn't have that many tools from Fluffy to worry about. And if it's a boxing match, Sean Strickland can do that all day. Like that's the only person he's not doing that against is probably Alex Pereira. So it's yeah, I just feel like that's what happened here for Fluffy. Scott Max said maybe Fluffy needed a fight coming off of his injury. Why does Fluffy get hurt so bad in the body most fights? Is it because of the body fat? It's a possibility. I mean, there definitely is something to be said about the conditioning of your core when it comes to taking damage. I mean, the more protection you have around your organs, the less damage they can take, right? But I also think it depends on the person. We see a lot of real thick heavyweights that seem to take body shots just fine. So I don't know that that's specifically it. Notorious Viet, to answer your question. Colostrum says Fluffy should have been relentless with the takedowns, whether he gets the takedown or not. I 100% agree. And to be honest, he's never had a problem fighting like that in the past. Like if he doesn't get the first takedown, there's always takedown 2, there's attempt 2, 3, 4 after that. And even if he gets none of the takedowns, there's still the just the labor of fighting the takedown, one, and just the worry of it as well. Like you're not going to be as willing to commit to hard punches if there's a possibility of you being taken down. And I think as soon as Sean realized that Fluffy wasn't shooting, he was so much more willing to throw those hard right hands. And then the knee was just beautifully timed. That was nasty. And you saw Sean kind of showing it beforehand. He like threw the knee, missed, and then I love how as soon as he brings the knee down, it's like a little kick punch or knee punch. He's punching it immediately off of that just to keep Fluffy at bay. Notorious Viet says, if Sean gets the title shot, will Imavov be another arm on? I don't know. I don't think Imavov is quite that far in the doghouse at this point, but I don't know that I want to see. I'm not sure if I want to see Sean get another title shot. I don't see him beating Khamzat. I think Khamzat's big enough. I don't think Fluffy was big enough to take down Sean, and I don't think he used his pressure enough as well. But I do think Khamzat has the wrestling and the size to take down Sean Strickland. I don't think Strickland has the ability necessarily to put away Khamzat. I don't see that happening. So it's like, it's not necessarily a fight I want to see that I'd be super excited for personally. I think there are other fights that are a little bit more interesting. Notorious Viet brought up Khamzat versus Yuri. That fight definitely interests me more than Strickland personally. Yeah, so I definitely could see it, but I think that you just beat the number 4 ranked guy. But I definitely want to get into this card a little bit more while we're waiting for Dave to come back. Colostrum says people forget Sean weighed in 9 pounds over the limit when he fought Imavov. So really 9 pounds. I knew he missed weight. Yeah, that was very early on in Imavov's career as well. Was it his debut or was it just an early fight? I can't remember. Let me see. I can't remember if it was at 205 or not. No, it wasn't at 205. We're looking it up. Usually Dave will talk to you guys while I Google things. Sean beat Imavov on 4 days' notice. Yeah. That's you guys are all making good points. Let's see. Catch weight. Because he fought on 4 days' notice. I was like, he missed weight by 9 pounds? Okay. Notorious Viet. Thank you. Catch weight, not miss weight. Yeah, I was thinking that was at 205, but it wasn't. Was it? Was it at 200 or 195? Ah, here it is. It was, I think it was just at 205, guys. I don't think anybody missed weight. It wasn't a catch weight. It was at 205, and Imavov was just small. I'm pretty sure. So yeah, because it's not marked as a weight miss. So I don't think that's correct. Anywho, okay, we're moving on. We're moving on. Okay. Somebody brought up. Ooh. Hokit versus Blades. Hey, I'm all for it. Like, let's get Hokit in the rankings. I'm for it. I saw another comment that I wanted to pull up. Leal, oh my gosh, I was so stoked for this fight. And it was a good fight. It was a darn good fight. It was an absolute banger. Carlos Leal is just a dog. Like Dave and I were back and forth on this. I had Leal winning. To be honest, it was more of a hunch than an analysis. Dave's breakdown of the fight was great. Chidi is so sharp. He's so long. He kicks so well. And that the first couple minutes of that fight, watching it, I was like, oh, Dave's correct. Like Dave's right, 100%. Chidi is getting this done. He was just picking at Leal, kicking the legs, kicking the body, snapping, staying out of danger. And dude, Leal just has this chin and toughness to him, and just the speed of his combinations, plus like the weight. You can see, even on the TV, you can see and feel the weight that Carlos Leal punches with. And it's just so impressive to me. Like, he is a tank of a man, even though he's the same height as most lightweights, I'm pretty sure. Dave, I don't know why you tried to switch to your computer. I don't know what you were doing.
And then the router made me like restart it, so then I had no Wi-Fi. I'm a mess over here, L.
Okay,
you talked about Leal and Chidi. You talked about that.
Started talking about it. Just started talking about it.
Oh, dude,
I told everybody I felt like your analysis of the fight was spot on, and then when the fight started, I was like, "Oh, Dave's going to be right about this." Like, Chidi is just picking at him, and then man, Leal he just withstands the storm so beautifully.
Yeah,
and he just has this toughness about him, and the power that he throws with. But it was a banger. Chidi didn't go away for the entire fight, to be honest. Like, he was there. It just, Leal is just too, I don't know if, like, he's just too tough for him to knock out.
So much to go on here. One super hot take. That fight, and I know it's 3 rounds, the other was 5, and I'm telling you, it's going to be a hot take. That fight, to me, was a better fight than Gaethje versus Patty. That was the best fight, I think, of 2026.
Dave, so many fights were better than Gaethje versus Patty.
El. Thank you. By the way, El, can you control the buttons like push comments, or when G comes out? You're in charge. I got nothing.
No worries.
Back to this fight. Chael Sonnen said this once, and I'm a big Chael guy. I know you guys are too at the Dawson's house. Sometimes they lock the cage, and all the practice, all the training camp, all the coaches, the expertise, all that earmuffs, kids, shit goes out the window. All that stuff goes out the window, and it's the toughest man for 15 minutes competition. And that's what Carlos Leal did. He's like, hey, that guy's probably a better striker than I. That guy's longer, leaner, meaner than I probably, but I'm tougher. And I'm going to win this fight just by will and competitive drive and toughness. And he did. He's very active himself. He's got some good striking. I'm not saying that. Dude, I don't know if you said it. Dude, we met Carlos multiple times. Super nice to us. Love us at Fight Bananas. Great guy. And I was happy that he got the win. Very happy for him.
And what a fight. Like, it was such a banger. Somebody said that they should have had fight of the night. Yeah. How would this have been a draw, Colostrum? What round was a 10-8?
Yeah, no.
How could this have been scored a
I
draw?
had money on the other way, and Liao won that fight 2-1.
Well, but even if he hadn't, there's no round that was dominant enough to result the fight in a
Correct.
draw. Like, you can't have a draw just because a fight is close.
or it's a great fight. Someone has to win.
It's a 10-point must system. You only have a draw if there's 2 close rounds and 1 dominant round that goes the other way. Like that's not how the scoring system works.
And I welcome L Dawson. Dude, it's always L show, guys. I'm definitely the sidekick on this.
I'm so glad Dave's back. I wasn't ready to talk by myself. Ooh,
I'm sorry, dude. I'm sorry.
Says Alvarez versus Leal.
I like.
Listen, I am going to give Joel Alvarez the benefit of the doubt after his welterweight debut. Wasn't beautiful. Wasn't what I expected from him. I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. New weight class, clean slate.
Yeah, it happens.
I think that fight would be an absolute banger. I am all for it.
I'm going to totally sidetrack us super quick, go right back into it, especially if you weren't into it. Did you watch America win the gold medal Sunday morning in hockey?
I haven't watched any of the Olympics.
Okay.
Sorry.
Right. Well,
I don't have Peacock.
God bless America, Al. You should support the country a little bit.
Love it. Super stoked for them.
It was
another streaming service just to watch the Olympics.
No, I get you. It was awesome though, El. It was so cool. Literally, I think you'll love this, and Grant will, right up their alley. Literally, the kid, and he's a kid, young man who won the gold medal, who got the shot. Probably 5 minutes before that, a stick broke his tooth, chipped his tooth in half. 5 minutes prior, still plays, doesn't cry about it, doesn't go get surgery right away, keeps playing, and he gets the gold-winning goal.
Wow,
pretty cool, right?
That's beast mode. I love hockey. I grew up playing very low-level hockey, but it was
you're a hockey player?
I played ice hockey. I was really bad, but it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
A lot of people are already asking about Mexico City, so I feel like we should hit Houston a little bit, and then there is a lot to talk about. I've only talked about Leal and the main event. We can't glaze over Medic and Costa, huge knockouts.
Didn't you and I both call that Melky Costa? That was like the easiest call of the fight, right?
So high on him.
He's so good.
I think Ige is a staple at featherweight. I think he's really solid. He hits hard. He's got great boxing. He's tough. But Costa I am so high on him right now. He is a massive featherweight. And it does not seem to, the cut doesn't seem to get to him in the same way that other people that cut a lot of weight do. Like, I don't see him like heavily slowing down in fights or anything like that. Man, I'm high on Costa right now. I absolutely could see a title run in his future.
One last thing, and there's a lot of great comments, guys. We'll get into Jacoby Smith because me and Elle went back and forth on that. One last thing on, you said Ige, a staple. I feel he was a staple in 2022, 2023, because he used to win one of those top 10s, lose one, beat the 15th guy, lose the 7. Like, he would do that. If he fights a better guy now, like, he doesn't upset anyone anymore. I feel like he's not even a
But he's in the fight. Like, he's not getting starched by everybody either. Like, he's still in the fight. Like, I think starching, like spitting.
He's not Tony Ferguson. Like, he's not Tony Ferguson.
No, that's what I'm saying.
He's not winning anymore.
I think he could still be a threshold. Dude, Woodson's a good win.
What?
Woodson's a great win.
Say that again. Danny gonna beat who?
Woodson.
Oh, Sean Woodson.
Yeah, that's a great win.
That's a good one.
Especially to finish. Dude,
was that his last fight before?
I can't remember.
That wasn't in 2018?
No, that just happened. Such an asshole. The Pitbull fight, it went Woodson. So he lost to Murphy. who is undefeated and
Yeah.
everybody thinks should be getting a title shot right now.
Okay.
Woodson, yes, he did lose to Pitbull. And so that's, I know that's a tough one because
That's a tough
Pitbull
one.
isn't established in the UFC, but he is a freaking veteran of the sport. Like,
That's a tough one.
that was actually a real good fight. I enjoyed that fight.
I'm looking up Topology now. On my computer, that doesn't work.
And then the Costa loss, which I think it's just going to age so well. He's so freaking
I
good.
agree with that. And also the Lerone Murphy did the same thing. Like, even at that time, we weren't ready to crown Lerone Murphy a top 5 guy. Like, we weren't ready when he beat Ige. Now he's the number 1 or number 2 contender.
Right.
We're fine with that.
Like, his losses are not aging poorly. Like,
No, I agree.
if we go way back, he's losing to 2020 Calvin Cater, who was still
A dog.
a dog.
Yeah.
Korean Zombie on the not quite on the tail end 2021, but definitely older Korean Zombie. But then Josh Emmett in 2021, Movstar in 22, Bryce Mitchell in 23, and then Diego Lopez in 24. Like, those are all his previous losses. Like, he's not losing to scrubs. And he beat 2020 Mirsad Bektik, who was still really freaking good. Edson
okay,
Barbosa
L.
2020.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7. He's got 4 wins out of his last 10 fights. Like I feel I'm not trying. This is the opposite of me. We're too high on Dan Ige. Like, I think he has a rep of like oh, dude, Ige's solid. Dude, Ige's top 10. He is a unranked UFC fighter now going forward.
You don't think he beats anybody in the rankings? Let me pull up the rankings. You might be right.
Gene Silva versus Steve Garcia, who wins? That's a great matchup. I got Lord Gene Silva. He's just too crazy. Just too crazy. He'd just win.
I feel like we didn't get to see Onama's best against Garcia, and that's why I just don't know. Like, I feel like if we had seen Onama show up his best,
yeah,
and then Garcia have still just as good of a performance,
yeah,
I would know where to rank him. But I just feel like David just did not show up that night. Yeah. I don't know what happened. Okay, all right, we're in the rankings. Ige, yeah, you may be right. I don't know. Well, I mean, maybe this year's Josh Emmett.
Maybe. And maybe. He literally fights in.
People had way too much patience for Tony Ferguson. Why can't we give Ige, who at least has all win in the last 10 years, some freaking credit?
Hey, if Dan Ige goes box and wins a world championship in boxing, I would give him more credit. All right, off of Dan Ige. Hey, Dan Ige, I wish you nothing but the best. I hope you make a ton of money and you win your next 8 fights. That's what I wish. But hey, we'll see what happens. All right. One last thing on Houston, and we'll kind of with Houston, and I will use this to transition to Mexico City. By the way, guys, a ton of fight announcements, a lot of stuff, man. I feel like Elle and I can talk for a couple of. We still got to talk about Jacoby Smith. Let's do Jacoby Smith real quick.
Talk about what are you doing?
Well, I have a bigger, broad point I want to get into.
Okay.
Jacoby Smith is awesome, really dangerous. I love the call out of Kevin Holland, by the way, and me and Elle, we did voice texting back and forth. It's not the fighter's job to stop the fight.
No, but it's your job to stop when the ref stops the fight.
No, 100%. So the ref was late and deserves blame for being late. And then Jacoby Smith, the ref pushed you and you got 2 to 3 more punches in there. That's on you, Jacoby Smith. So, and I said this to you in text, they both, to me, have ownership of blame.
Agreed. No, I 100% agree. Jacoby Smith, like that, bro, and then against the dude that's had a serious brain injury that almost kept him out of the UFC for a couple of years.
Yeah.
Just,
it's scary.
That hurt to watch, man. And I don't know, did you see the video? A fan that was there took a video of him when they didn't have the camera on him, of him just stumbling around and falling. Like, it was a horrible knockout.
Yeah.
Like, I am very concerned for Josiah.
Right.
I pray he is okay, because that was
And I, hey, maybe Jacoby Smith is a unhinged type of athlete and fighter, and don't want to speak out of base, but like it it's a sport, it's a mixed martial arts, and it's a sport, and you took it to another level that you maybe could have ended a man's career. Like you could have ended how this man makes earnings for whatever, if a family or for himself going forward. Like that was tough. Like it's a tough world out there, and it's a dog eat dog world, and the fight game is not clean all the time. But like that's a little much. It's like, hey man, like you're flashy and you talked a lot of crap, and like the UFC will get behind him, but you also got to do a little bit of like, hey, when someone will get you sooner or later. And if they're gonna let loose a little bit extra, I'm just gonna throw that out there. It's a little comes back around.
yeah. No, he looked phenomenal.
He
And
did.
yes, I think Harold's good. I think Harold will win some fights in the UFC. I think he was ready to be there. Smith is world class though. The level of his wrestling and the scramble, and when he got taken down, the freaking roll back over, like that man is
Yeah.
a just superb athlete.
Right.
He's superb athlete.
And you can't teach that, El. You can't teach it. Right.
Some of it you can. Some of that is wrestling in a high level room, and some of it is just he was born with it. This man is born to be an athlete.
God sprinkles that old dust on some people in the world, right? Like
he is, he's got unteachables 100%. But I give him his flowers, but that one gave me the only other ones I want to touch on, dude, Jordan Levitt, featherweight debut.
Yeah. Monster underdog.
Wrestling like crazy. Yadir Duvall. That's all I'll say. Everyone else can extrapolate that. Hey, Carly Judy's getting it done again. I would like to see her evolve her grappling a smidgen more. I feel like part of the reason she wasn't in more danger in the grappling exchanges was because Juliana Miller made so many bad decisions.
Hell, what do you think Juliana Miller's going to start working at on Monday? There's no way she's in the UFC still. No way.
Yeah.
Like, no way.
Not a lot of chances at this point, right? Like,
was she? I think she's 1-5. Like,
is she really? Okay.
She's like 1-4, 1-5 with like 5 cancellations.
They've been releasing people for much less. And I think as Gillian and I have said, we would rather have a scarcer women's division than a less deep women's division.
Jake, I want to get into that. It's one of my notes. Trust me, I got a lot of stuff on that. I will get into that, Jake.
But I just, man, I hate to see Juliana Miller does have great grappling, but her decision making was just so poor. And so I would like to see Carly maybe find she had some really good stuff. Like the way when she defends so well. Right. But she kept putting herself kind of in the same bad spot with Juliana Miller, where Miller just is one of those few people who can do the weird thing where she hooks the leg and just kicks off the fence and takes the back. And I think Judy's may run into some trouble with some of the higher level grapplers as she works her way up the rankings at 125.
Yeah.
God, that girl can strike.
I know.
Boxing and just killer instinct. Like, I love watching her fight. Like she's got some really beautiful striking.
I know you're a grappler. I know your husband's a grappler. Gillian the Savage Robertson, who's coming on the show in 10, 15, 20 minutes, is a grappler. I know this might be a dumb question, but if you had one base, if you became a UFC fighter, if you're like Bo, I guess my question is, would you rather be Bo Nickel and be like, hey, I got this side covered and I need to learn how to strike better? Or would you be like Poetan? You're one of the greatest strikers in the world, but I got to learn now how to grapple and wrestle. Which side would you rather go? Which side would you rather have A plus in going into the UFC?
Am I me or am I a light heavyweight man?
Oh, you pick. So,
Um,
so you think weight is different on that?
100%. In almost every single weight class, wrestling.
Okay.
There are very few good wrestlers at 205 in heavyweight. It's almost non-existent. So
So
I think you can get away with having much less grappling in those weight classes. If you're a woman, wrestling, 100%.
okay.
I
So if
think,
you're like you're saying you're Tatiana Suarez and life's good.
um I think better. I'm just saying, like she
She's had a good career though. Like if without the injuries, Elle, she's won.
she had so little time to develop her striking because she
Right.
started late in MMA and then had so many injuries. Like
Yeah.
I'm saying, if you're five, if I have a 5-year-old kid, yeah, I'm putting
Yeah.
them straight into wrestling.
Okay.
Because I think you can pick up, like, if if you're in trouble in a fight, but you
Yes.
have the ability to take somebody down whenever you want, even when you're in trouble,
You're good.
I think that's the piece that you would want to have. I don't know. Did you see anything
I
on?
actually have not either. John, I haven't seen that. Yeah, I
I
haven't
have
seen
not
nothing come
seen
out.
any updates yet on what's her name, Cornell.
What is her name?
Uh,
That's rude. That's rude.
Nora Cornoli.
All right. Hey,
Um,
transition a little bit. I do want to talk about Connor Ben. Oh, you got one more thing? Got
no,
one
no, no.
thing?
I'm good. Go ahead.
Okay. And like I said, this is still about UFC Houston, so we're not leaving it completely. But guys, UFC Houston was Saturday. We're going to UFC Mexico City with Brandon Moreno in the main event, Cheeto Vera in the co against two younger, maybe better fighters in 2026. We'll see. That's what the fights are about. Um, and I almost, it's funny, I did a 180 on this because I used to be on the other side. And you know me, I love fight nights. We talked about it on last week's show, how much we love fight nights in cities. It is so much. Guys, we came through the pandemic and we're like, dude, just give us fights. Guys, stop complaining. And I used to be that person, be like, hey, it's a free fight on the Apex. And pretty soon it's going to be Josh Emmett versus Kevin Valerio and G's fighting on the card. I can't wait for that show. Very true. However, if that show was in Jacksonville, Florida, or Austin, Texas, or San Diego, or West Virginia, it would be so much better. I'm becoming that guy. Like Ariel Hawani lives on this tall chair about it. We got to get out of the Apex. Like we have to get out of the Apex. The shows are so much enjoyable for me to watch it on TV in a big full arena, just with the stuff. It's just so much better.
But we can do so many more shows if they utilize the Apex.
We could do the Contender Series there. I've never complained about that, but
But we can do so many more just shows throughout the year. The more you push the UFC into arenas, the less fights there are for guys like Grant.
why?
Because it saves them money, it saves them travel, and it saves them staff. It is so
They
much.
just signed an $8 billion deal.
It is so much easier. There is no other sports organization that puts on 52 events a year in a massive arena. Name one. Football
It's
has
actually not. Basketball plays 82 games a year.
Baseball has a season.
Yeah.
MMA does not have a season. If we want to have enough events for these guys to get more than one fight a year, we need the Apex. They can't do a big arena every weekend. It's not going to happen.
Okay, just I don't want to do this to do it, but like my honest question, why can't they do it? Do you have a reason or a valid reason behind it? Like why?
Because I think it takes too much planning. These guys need breaks. They need time to be with
That's a valid point.
Imagine if you're Dana White. How much easier it is to plan an Apex card
For sure.
than it is to plan a Houston card or a Mexico City card.
No, you're 100% right.
You don't have to rent a venue. You need a fraction of the staff that you need. for an arena event. You have easier accommodations. You probably have way cheaper accommodations for the fighters. But I just listen, I'm for it. I agree, Dave. I agree that the events are better, but I know what will happen if they stop doing Apex shows. And what will happen is guys like my husband who are already begging for fights will get even less fights.
Well, and Ellen, I get your point, and that's where I'm like, that's where the frustration comes in. And you know how much I love and care for your husband Grant. Like, I want him to be fight as much as possible. My point is, one line you said, and I think it's actually very true. You're like something about, the staff needs a break. You ready? Hire triple the staff. And I know this sounds crazy. They just got one of the biggest paydays in the history of the UFC, $8 billion. Like, you can't hide. Like, here's $300,000. Can you plan 6 events a year? Like, you get a couple people on. Like, I feel like they can hire a staff of the West Coast and maybe hire a Florida, Georgia, South Carolina staff. Be like, hey, guys, you have one event every quarter. This is on you, and do it out.
I am curious if a lot of that money hasn't already been allocated to maybe
Conor
even
Ben,
to things that maybe aren't
boxing.
even related. Zuffa, Power Slap.
That's some bull crap. That's some bull crap.
You remember this is TKO Group now. You've got WWE events, you've got crossovers, you have Zuffa,
bull riding,
you have Power Slap, you have so much now. And so I do wonder how much of that 7 point whatever billion dollars. Imagine if you had to arrange a birthday event for your kids every week.
It would be tough. But if I had $8 billion, I would do it. It wouldn't be that tough. That's my point, guys. This isn't a startup company. This isn't the PFL that's losing money. This company is making money over fist. Like, what are we talking about here, guys? Hire more staff. Like, I disagree with the acclimate of, it'd be too much or it'd be a lot of hard work. Dude, I agree, and I think everyone deserves breaks, but then hire more people to do it.
Fair enough.
Man,
I mean, you know how it's the saying it's so hard to find good help these days.
Yes,
Maybe they can't get enough staff that actually can put on the level of event, because you brought up PFL, and while some of their staff is absolutely phenomenal, there's definitely some things that they don't do as well as the UFC, or they haven't done as well as the UFC in the past. And UFC has a very high standard for their product. So when you hire double the amount of people, the number one thing that tends to happen is the quality of the product goes down. So I do think you have to be careful about doing that. Like, that is a growth move that probably takes a lot of time.
Sure. And that is very valid. Like, that's what I mean. Like, I want to know why. What's the why? And I think that's probably the valid point, because let's be honest too, Bruce Buffer and Joe Rogan, they don't want to fly around, and they're part of it was cool to see Buffer in 30 years and him being in a big arena. Like, that's a part of the show. And I understand if he doesn't want to go to Vancouver this week and Mexico City next week. I get that, but like, it is astronomical to me how much of a difference. And I wasn't this guy a year ago. I'm like, dude, just put on fights. I love it. Just watch it. I'm watching it. Watching fights in big arenas and the crowd and the moments, it's like, oh my goodness, it's a different sport. It's different.
I will say, this last Apex show, I could hear the crowd. I could hear the people.
Well, they've done it different now. It's more like a mini arena. They've definitely built out a bowl.
Yeah, no, and I do like the change there. I do like the change in the Apex. Sure. But I also, not to mention, imagine if every single card that had like a mid-level main event had happened to it what happened to this main event. And instead of, like, okay, so let's say a main event that would normally be at the Apex that they can't sell an arena out for, because you're taking away opportunities from guys to have their first main event, guys who can't fill an arena, And so how do those guys build their way up if they can't fill an arena? They never get that spot. And if you have, let's say you have two guys that are great fighters that are working their way up, but maybe that can't fill an arena, and they put them in an arena and then one of them falls out, and you get, instead of Brandon Moreno and oh my gosh, who is it supposed to be? Asu Almabayev, you get Brandon Moreno and Loner Kavanaugh, who is a great fighter, but who people just don't know yet. And imagine, instead of getting that in the Apex, where it doesn't matter and it's not going to kill ticket sales, you get it in an arena. I think there's a reason they need the Apex in order to develop guys. They have to be able to develop guys.
Patty Pimblett didn't main event one card until the biggest show, and maybe one of the biggest top 5 shows in UFC history, their debut on Paramount Plus.
Because he was already on pay-per-views, David. I'm talking about guys.
You can be on pay-per-views without headlining.
I'm talking about guys that aren't superstars. I'm talking about the guys that people don't know yet. You think Steve Garcia could have filled an arena?
So, okay. I like Steve Garcia. He's been on our show 5 times. Then don't headline Steve Garcia. He's not a headliner yet.
But you need guys to headline before they have to fill, you need to prepare them to fight 5 rounds. Patty Pimblett is proof you shouldn't fight 5 rounds for your first time for a title shot.
Well, those are that's a 2 different statements. Your statement of they need to kind of practice the 5 round thing. I get that, and that's fine. I just don't like the statement of you need to headline Kevin Vallejo at the Apex because he can't sell out a thing. If that's the case, he shouldn't headline. Put him as the co-main event under a Rose Namajunas headline show.
You can't do that in MMA because MMA there are sports. Okay. Let me rewind. I don't know who 90% of the Kansas City Chiefs are. I know 2 Chiefs, right? Everybody knows Patrick Mahomes. But the rest of the Chiefs team still has the opportunity to go out and perform and present their skill.
For sure.
So if a guy never becomes a superstar, basically you're saying you've changed the entire trajectory of the UFC, and now the best fighters aren't fighting anymore on major cards. The guys who can't sell, they never get opportunities. And it's only the superstars. And you're going to end up with the same guys that are the only guys who can fill arenas headlining almost every card of the year. And it just isn't good business long-term, because then when those superstars retire, you have nobody that's been developed in order to take their place. You have to push people. You can't.
No, I get that, but
wait for them to be famous enough to headline. You're not going to get enough guys that can headline that way.
Fluffy Hernandez, if you win fights like Fluffy Hernandez, Bilal Muhammad, Merab Dvalishvili, those guys were not superstars, and they didn't headline a ton of stuff before they became. You win 7, 8, 9 fights in a row. Just if you win fights, I think the star thing about people, like George St. Pierre, good-looking guy, can talk a little bit of English. Didn't have he wasn't a superstar. He was phenomenal inside the octagon, one of the best I've ever seen, and he won all the time. You win fights, I think you become a superstar. Yes, there's other ways to do it, but Merab Dvalishvili got his star power by winning fights, and then he did change and be like, hey, he got a little bit funny on social media, became a little bit of a character, but he wasn't a star until he won 7 in a row.
And even then, he wasn't a star. But before that, he still could have headlined an Apex card before that. And how many guys could have been like Merab if they'd gotten more opportunity earlier? The UFC is starved for superstars.
Yeah, I agree with that.
If you take away developmental pieces of developing superstars, the result is less stars, not more stars.
Right.
You have to have the developmental piece. And you need a place for them to develop.
No, I don't disagree with that.
It's like a rookie year in another sport. Like,
But again, if my other point, we got to move on for sure, for sure. My last point on it, and if you want to say something about it, it's like
we haven't talked
that
about
was
Mexico at
Houston.
all.
Houston's one of the biggest cities in the world, in America, 14, 15,000 arena. It's okay to, and I say this all the time to you, it's okay to do it in Fort Lauderdale. Like I said, Charleston, West Virginia. You know what I mean? Like Jacksonville, Florida. It's okay to do it in a 6,000 arena, a little bit smaller arena in these cool cities across America.
Profit's worth it. I don't think they would turn the numbers to the reason why the UFC is so successful and so long standing in a sport that has continually had failing businesses is because they're not overspending. And I think there's something to be said about that because like pre new CEO, I think the PFL had this problem, you know, and we saw it. We were in those arenas. They were cool arenas, but they were not full.
They were not.
And so I think they know what they're doing. But
They definitely do. I just, as a viewer, it's awesome to watch it in Texas. It's awesome.
That's fair. This was a really, you could tell the vibe was awesome in Houston.
It was awesome. Jumped off the screen.
Mexico City is always, but this is to my point. Everybody was, I'm sure the UFC was freaking out about losing this main event because they were like, we need Brandon Moreno in Mexico City. What do we do if we lose this main event in Mexico City? Now imagine they have to deal with that in every city. Where it's like, this is the fight that is carrying this card. If we can't get a replacement that's worthy, this card's just trashed. And people won't buy tickets.
Like, I don't disagree. And you know me, I said this multiple times. I feel the UFC does a mediocre to poor job about having their fight nights sometimes being too weak. And dude, we just saw, guys, they announced UFC 327 in Miami. By the way, Van and Tyra. And people are going to be upset. That's a weak main event for a pay-per-view. It just is. I'm sorry. It's a weak main event. Can't wait.
That's a weak main event?
Yes.
You've got two of the youngest, most talented flyweights.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm excited.
The car. I think G just popped in. If you want to push that button, and if you want to do a 35-second amazing intro for her, you can.
Presenting Gillian Robertson. I'm not the intro girl. I'm sorry. Thank you.
The best intro I've ever had. Absolutely.
Unbelievable. I got no more love, man. No love. Gillian, how are you, friend? How are you doing?
I'm doing all right. How are you?
Good. Hey, dude, I love seeing, dude. I felt like it was spring a couple of days ago. Like, saw you this weekend. Looked like you were on the water, beach. Looks like you're having the greatest time ever in life. And now it's winter's back. Like, it's disgusting.
I don't know what happened. Honestly, I'm like, I think Sunday I was outside and literally it was almost too hot to be outside. I remember walking out and being like, oh, the summer's finally back. And then Monday morning, I don't know what happened.
One day, one night. I walked my kids to the bus stop. It was freezing this morning. Freezing.
Absolutely terrible. I'm like, I don't understand how people in like cold states ever like how they can be a mixed martial artist, because I'm like, my bones just hurt so much more in this cold weather and it takes so much more to warm up. I'm like, it would just suck to have to do this in the snow.
Could you imagine if you stayed in Canada?
No, not at all.
By the way, that Winnipeg card, Mike Malott, Gilbert Burns in the main?
Yeah, first time a Canadian's been in the main in a long time.
Dude, that's big.
But Van and Tyre is a weak main event, Dave.
Whoa. For one, that's a fight night. And then my point is, I think that's great and I think Jazz is very high in the card too. That's cool to show local talent, you know.
Well, that's every Canada card. They always do that.
Right. And I think that's a good main event. I think that's a fun main event for Malott because, dude, Gilbert Burns is a borderline Hall of Fame type of name. That's a big spot, right? But yeah, no. my point was, guys, UFC 327, they just announced a ton of great fights. But the main event is a little, it's an
Hey, they've got fights to throw on the White House card. They can't be wasting all their headliners.
I think the Tyara Van is a good. I don't know. It's definitely an entertaining fight for the fans, obviously, but it compared to the last couple Miami cards we've had, it's not the same. I'm like, we've had a lot of star power coming to the Miami cards, where I'm like, this just doesn't seem like it's the same kind of like hype.
I wonder if it's just kind of maybe just like a dry patch for Miami. Like, you used to have guys that like were kind of like from the South Florida era that were just like, you had Jorge Masvidal, who's a superstar, born and raised in Miami. Like, you had those guys that this was their spot and they were super big names, you know?
I was gonna say, even last year though, I don't remember the whole card, but I remember like O'Malley was on the card. You know?
Poirier.
Yeah, I'm like, those are big names that aren't like O'Malley's not a Florida name, you know? They're bringing in big stars for these cards usually. So I was just like, why isn't the star power there as much this time?
Yeah. And you ready for this one? And they've announced 7 or 8 really good fights. They don't have a co-main event either. Like, to me, if you make that the main, the fight is going to be phenomenal. You need a co-main event that's like, you need 2 borderline Hall of Famer type guys or girls going at it. Like, you need Valentina defending her title. You need Yuri versus Olberg in a interim title fight at a light heavyweight. You need something. Something needs to happen.
I will say, I think there's something we need to prepare ourselves for, and that's that, hey, there's no more pay-per-views. And while that is great for us, Dave, it also means that they don't have to be able to sell pay-per-views. You know, and so there is a chance that the number cards aren't all absolute bangers this year. You know, like, that's just, I'm not saying it's the right move. I'm just saying that's the reality. They don't have to sell pay-per-views anymore. That's huge.
Someone has a question for G. We'll go to that in a second. Did L just freeze on us?
I think so.
L's frozen. Dude, that was me. I'm on my phone right now, G. It's horrible. My analogy I was going to do, and I think G will get this, like, it seems like the UFC is just not trying as much as they used to. I hate that they're like, oh, it's not a pay-per-view anymore. We don't have to try. It's like, imagine you get into a long-term relationship with someone and be like, hey, I'm letting myself go. I'm not going to get a haircut anymore. I'm just going to get overweight and not care. Like, that's disrespectful to your partner. Like, I want to look good, feel good, not even for me and future, but for my partner who love me for that. You know what I mean? Like, it's just disrespect. I feel like the UFC's like, hey, we got you. We're going to disrespect you now.
In a way, yes. But in a way, I also think that there isn't as much, I don't know. We don't have the star power in the UFC right now. We're losing a lot of the greats. I feel like they're retiring at this time. And I feel like we don't really have the next up and comers to replace them that I can really think of at the moment, you know? So we don't really have a lot of big names in the sport at the time. And I'm like, I don't know what's the reasoning for that. I'm not sure. We just don't I don't feel like it's a good era for MMA right now, honestly.
No, I agree. And then even with that, G, I feel like it's just wonky too. Like, everything with John Jones and Aspinall, like, the heavyweight division's a mess. Light heavyweight, like, it's been 7-8 months since Poatan fought and Ankalaev. Like, what's going on there? Who's he gonna fight? Yuri, like,
Am I by myself now?
am I good? All right. Gee, I was putting you on the spot there. I got a phone call. I'm on the phone. This is just, we are crazy. I agree with your point completely. I just think I just felt like Max Holloway used to fight 3 times a year on the way up, and like now Sugar fights once a year. And you know what I mean? I just think the best fighters, these young up and comers, just fight once a year. It's just wild.
Honestly, I think, and I could be completely wrong with this theory, I think a lot of it has to do with there's not as many fighters left in the world.
Yeah.
Everybody's trying to get the perfect record. Everybody's trying to pad their records and make it get the Khabib, the undefeated, retire undefeated, and nobody's taking real fights. Everybody wants to avoid the fights because they just want to look good. They want to make their record look good, and I feel like it's really taking down the quality of MMA as a whole.
I completely agree. 50% of the company, and we're not going to say names. They like being in the UFC because it's on their Instagram handle, and it's like, cool, that's in my bio. It's like you're not real about it, and we will get into some of the names we said earlier in the show. We'll just move on from that. But we do have a question. It's so hard for me to do these comments. If you look at the card Gillian is on, it says Fight Night Robertson versus the Most. Any reason for that? Ooh.
So on Google, it said that since the beginning. I don't know why, but like literally, whenever I first noticed it, obviously, I was like, "Am I the main event?" I was texting, I noticed this probably about a month ago, but we're back. But since then, they've announced the main event, which is Josh Emmett versus Kevin Blehos.
Yeah.
And currently, as it stands, I'm like, obviously things change. I am the co-main event, though.
Ooh, co-main event. Gee. Maybe Google knows. Like they're like, oh yeah, wait, Gillian Robertson, that's the main event fight. Like Robertson is on the posters and in the lights, so they just know.
Yeah, they just know. They know it'd be a better poster, so they're just Google's trying to put it out there for me.
Dude, I don't ask a lot of you. I don't think. Well, maybe I do. I don't know. I don't think I do. When you are the main event of the show and the poster, we need one of those things back there. Like we need a UFC poster with a G back there.
Robertson versus Dern.
Definitely. Let's go.
I can't wait for that fight. When is Mackenzie Dern gonna fight again?
She said she wanted to fight about every 6 months, so I'm assuming like she'd want to fight soonish.
Soon, then.
Yeah.
You ready? She might be the co-main event in that Miami card, mate. But against who?
I just don't see her taking something short notice like that. Like
not that much time.
That's right. That's 6 weeks away. 6, 7.
Wow. Super quick, yeah.
Sorry for saying that.
Unless it is already in the works. Because they've been slow about getting announcements out lately.
But even honestly, with the Joshua Van one, I heard talks last week about them trying to find him a matchup. So wow. I as far as I know, that one was set up as of recent.
That is wild. Because Manel Cap was in the mix. He was definitely in the mix. He was getting some momentum.
I am with Manel's coach at Goat Shed. So it was Manel's coach who was hearing some things about like what might be happening, what might not be happening. So I'm like, it was last week that he was hearing things. So it's very recent that it did come together.
I think I'm not allowed to, let's just say maybe I knew about Ronda Rousey and Gina 6 months ago. That's that. I know another one. A birdie told me one of the biggest fights of 2026. I'll text you guys off air.
I saw somebody ask. I'm sorry.
Oh.
And I looked it up because I'm slow. Somebody said, "Are the number cards enough to raise the subscription numbers?" And apparently, Paramount did see approximately 1 million new subscribers on the day of the first UFC event on Paramount Plus.
That's amazing. That's a lot.
That is a lot. I was not expecting it to be that much.
So
will it continue to bring in viewers after that first date?
Right. That's the question. So I think we can compare, is it just that million and we got everybody, or is it, I do wonder though, like people who maybe already have Paramount subscriptions, I think will come over to watch the UFC. So maybe it'll encourage more people to keep their subscriptions, but I don't know if it'll sell more, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Elle, what's 1 million times 10?
Really? 10 million?
10 million? Okay, so if they got $10 million a month times 12, that's $120 million a year. But that's not, they gave them $8 billion for 7. Like that doesn't add up.
I'm sure there's other ways they make their and that's just from that, like, those subscribers. What about the first day of Zuffa boxing or the first day of something else the TKO group does? Like, we didn't even look at those numbers.
I
So
gotcha. It just seems like a lot, but um,
maybe it'll only last 7 years and then they'll go somewhere else.
oh yeah, Coach Mike nailed it. Coach Mike nailed it.
Ad revenue.
Thank you, Coach Mike. Thank you, Coach Mike.
What we've been
Yeah, 'cause-
bitching about the last couple weeks. Too many ads.
yeah, it has been. G, do you care about Sugar Sean O'Malley went on his podcast and talked about it and seems like super upset that the rumor about Conor Ben, who is a boxer. I knew that, by the way, before this weekend. I knew that he has dyed yellow hair and he's from England. I knew all that stuff before this weekend. I guess he signed a one fight with Zuffa for $15 million. And Sugar Sean O'Malley's like, I don't make $15 million and I'm a pretty big deal for the UFC. Like, do you care at all? Or I don't count other people's money. I hope everyone makes $10 million and I'm happy for the world. But other people are like, that's kind of bullcrap if I'm making this and I'm, busting my tail to build the UFC. And now they're going to give $15 million to this guy?
No, I definitely see O'Malley's point on that. And especially, I feel like every other sport is paid absurdly compared to us, Like, I think that's the big gripe around fighter pay is because of how other sports are paid. I'm like, I don't think there would be such a big gripe on fighter pay if a boxer wasn't getting 30 million or like an NFL player getting that much. Where I'm like,
they're getting way more than that.
Yeah, comparatively, we're not getting paid that much. But I'm like, I'm comfortable with what I'm getting paid with. If I was getting paid 30 million, wouldn't argue either. Like, I honestly don't understand how there's all this money in boxing still. I'm like, where do they have the fans? Where do they have the eyes on it? I'm like, how is there millions and millions that these guys are getting paid every fight?
I think it's just because it's such an old sport. Because I cannot make myself sit down and watch an entire boxing card.
I can't either. And guys, you ready for this one? And Dana said this, and he's 100% right. There's a reason why it hasn't had a central base of like one company. MVP's put on like 8 shows, and like they're one of the biggest distractors in the space. They have 8. Like the UFC's got 800 by all the fight nights and pay-per-views and everything. That's what Dana's saying. Like, people go into boxing, they overpay for Manny Pacquiao and Floyd, and then they run out of business because they're paying them ungodly amount of money, and you can't do that successfully over and over and over again. And there's been 50. Don King had Tyson. It worked, and then when Tyson wasn't popular, it didn't work anymore. They don't have a company. Like, it's dead. So,
is that what they're doing with Zuffa? Is Zuffa just a fly by the night?
I don't think so. You got Dana behind it. I don't think you got TKO behind it, but that seems like I'm not trying to be funny, but $15 million for Conor Ben, I just don't get it. Like, I'm not. I knew who he was. I knew about him for sure. I watch boxing and I'm in this space.
I had no idea.
Yeah, and I agree. I think Sugar Sean honestly didn't know about him. Like, you could just tell how he talked about it. It's like, I really didn't know, and it's like you're paying Sugar 1.2. You're paying Gamrot 220.
Someone who cares says if the UFC upped fighter pay more than some of the football players, they would fix the heavyweight division.
That is so true. That is so true.
Yes. Get all the guys that retire from the NFL after 2-3 years. Oh my God, we'd have a super heavyweight division.
I know. And give them all the gummy bears they can eat, all of them, with the special juice in it.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Testing heavyweight.
G, last week, a major announcement happened, and I was so excited to talk to you on it, and we didn't get to talk to you last Tuesday. Ronda Rousey is back. Gina Carano is back. They're fighting in mixed martial arts in a humongous arena in California, the Intuit Dome. Beautiful arena. Big thing for MVP. I just, as a female MMA, professional athlete, and we've always talked about and joked about how people said, hey, do you do Ronda Rousey? Have you fought Ronda Rousey? how is it that she is back? Are you care at all? Is this awesome for you? I know you got your own thing right now. Well, where were you at when you heard this announcement?
I don't know. I guess a little bit torn.
Okay.
I'm like, I definitely respect Rhonda and what she's done. For her to come back, I don't know if it's necessary, especially 10 years later.
Yeah.
And but that being said, if she was going to come back, this is the ideal matchup for her.
Oh my goodness. Yes.
Ugh.
Yes.
This is
yes.
what I said. Am I going to watch it? 100%. Is it going to be awful? 100%.
100%.
That's kind of the same boat I'm in. I'm like, I
Yeah.
expect it to be terrible, but there's no way I'm not watching this.
Exactly. And that's what they got us all. And little behind the curtain thing, Rhonda said it a couple times. They're like, dude, why didn't it work for her to be in the UFC? You know why? Because they weren't going to do business with Gina Carano. So Rhonda would absolutely have to fight, right, Norma Dumont or Amanda Nunes or Kayla Harrison, whatever. And she wasn't going to fight one of those girls. You know what I mean? Like, she knew she would get absolutely slaughtered. And that's why it didn't work out for her in the UFC.
Well, I was gonna say, I think Ronda's like one of the Connors where it's like, if she's coming back, we got to get her a good matchup. Where I'm like, if Connor comes back, I want to see, like, we've talked about, obviously, like a Michael Chandler, a Jorge Masvidal, something that's an ideal matchup for him. Where I'm like, with Ronda coming back, Gina's an ideal matchup for her. Where I'm like, it's not somebody who is active in the rankings and like she's not been in the picture for 10 years. She needs someone who also is kind of in the same boat.
And to be honest, there aren't any winnable matchups for Ronda in the UFC right now.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
There just aren't. And so it would do nothing for the UFC to bring back both Ronda and Gina Carano just so they could sell one big event. They don't win anything from that matchup, you know?
Right. I got another fun little hot take, little birdie for you guys. I believe when Conor McGregor does fight the White House, and I've been saying this, I've been strong on this for 4 months now, it is not going to be a matchup that you guys think it is right now. It is not a Chandler. It's not going to be a Nate. It is not going to be an older guy that he can win. I'm telling you, he's going to fight someone in the top 10 in the lightweight or welterweight that's a younger, good guy. I'm telling you.
David Van Auken. We just talked about this a few weeks ago, and I said I would be cool with him fighting somebody like a Roofy, and you poo-pooed all over me.
I poo-pooped?
You poo-pooed all over me.
I don't poop anything else. Did I really?
Yes.
All right. Well, I think something like that's going to happen.
Oh, I would love this.
Dude.
Process.
Yeah. I just think that a lot of these guys are just going to be too much for Conor right now. I don't think anybody wants to see, like, I feel like someone like Conor or Ronda needs to be in a position where they have a possibility to win. I don't see that Conor having a possibility to win a lot of, like, against a Prates.
Oh, wait.
This might be the greatest comment in our Fight Bananas history. This would be the best. This would main event the White House.
Just book McGregor versus Rumbetsky and let there be carnage.
Oh, my goodness. Can I make that into a t-shirt? That is phenomenal.
Somebody screenshot that right now while I leave the comment up. Go for it.
I can't do it with my hand on the phone.
Hands in the way. Never mind.
I tried.
No, like that's a winnable fight for Conor and a winnable fight for Rumbetsky.
Oh.
And it would just be bloody and fun. It's just, is Conor McGregor going to say yes to fighting somebody like that? An unranked guy? Probably not.
Probably not.
That would be so.
Someone just put a comment, said Conor versus Jorge. Maybe Jorge Masvidal's booked already. I don't know.
See, I'm like, that's the fight that I was expecting to happen, was Conor and Jorge. And I think that for me, that's like a Ronda and Carano kind of fight. I'm like, they're both huge star powers in the sport, both not necessarily been the most active in the last couple of years. Right. So I'm like, I think that they would be a good matchup.
Yeah, I agree.
This would be incredible. This would be insane.
Conor and VSD.
Yeah. That would be fun.
I mean, if you want Connor to be demolished in 3 minutes, yeah, you could have him fight Yaroslav.
Yeah, that's not cool, man. I gotta charge my phone. Dude, what a mess. Dude, I'm a mess.
It is. I have no idea. My power went out, and then when it came back, my internet was just gone. Like it didn't exist. I had no cell service, nothing. I just sat here in darkness.
That's crazy.
Like 3 minutes.
That's crazy. All right. All right. Can I say one really nice thing about my wife? Would you guys want to hear this?
Of course.
Of course.
Okay. Dude. So, did my phone, am I working?
Yeah, you're good.
What is happening? So my wife has gave birth to twins, and I was very proud. But this morning was maybe above this, maybe the proudest moment as a Van Auken husband, right? So we're like whatnotters now in the Van Auken house. Gee, I don't know if you know what that means. I know we talked a little bit about it off air. I've been selling stuff on Whatnot for like the last month. It's life changing. All right, let's just say that it's just doing really well. So my wife has been watching me do it, and she's like, dude, I think I can do it, and blah, blah, blah. And she like was getting into it and looking into it. So she did like her first show this morning, and she like even did better than I did it. She did so good. And like I was kind of helping her and just watching her from afar. She's like just raking it in. I was like, from afar, I was like, dude, it was a happy husband moment. I was so proud of her. She did amazing. She's killing it.
Susie. Heck
Yeah. Yeah. I'm telling you, guys, we have to do, we're going to do after your fight, G, after you win, and that'd be 5 wins in a row, 7 out of your last 8, I believe. Did I just nail that? Think so?
I think so. I don't
I'll
even know,
remember.
honestly.
Just keep winning. Yeah, definitely. I want to go down south, and I want to do like a live Whatnot show with all of us, with Grant, maybe with one other person, and it's just like we'll sign gloves and T-shirts and like rare stuff, course cards, all kinds of stuff, and like people pay a ton of money for that on Whatnot. It's crazy.
I have literally way too many UFC jackets with my name on them. So
I call dibs on one of them. G.
They're all
I
going
call
to be
dibs.
small.
they're all smalls.
Oh. All right.
But
All right.
yeah, I'm like, this will be my 20th UFC fight. So I've got quite a few hanging in my closet.
You have them all.
I don't have them all. I've definitely given some away, but I'm like, I probably have over 10.
Holy crap. No, dude, I would frame one up. I would put like something on that wall for sure. For sure. But no, I'm telling you, people, because like one, the jacket itself, it's a lot of money. Just the jacket, right? Then, like you were, so you have, it makes it more valuable. And then you sign it, because you're on Whatnot, people can be like, hey, can you say, to your number one fan or whatever. It's crazy. Like people pay a buckload of money. It's wild.
Dave fits in a woman's small.
I'm not gonna lie. I told this to Grant last week. This is the best 2 weeks ever. I lost like 15, 18 pounds. Like it's been 2 weeks. I'm on something right now. A little bit of a chin line right now. Becoming a welterweight again.
I'm for this.
It's just such a huge step up for him.
It is.
Too big. Too
Yeah,
big.
that's what I think. It's too big of a step up right now.
Yeah.
Probably. But if it's not, can you?
Oh my goodness.
No, if Josh is able to pull it off, it's the perfect step to get him up in the rankings, to get him up where we need an exciting heavyweight,
Yeah.
Even if he does well, like even if he doesn't get starched, he's at least in the mix now, because Blade's such a staple of the division. So it's like, I'm for it. I'm good.
Yeah.
Even if Hoka takes a loss, but like has a decent performance, at least he's in this horrible rankings. He's in the mix of this heavyweight division to mix things up. And then you can have him go beat up Tai Tuivasa or somebody.
Rest in peace. You guys saw Gable Stevenson win his 3rd professional fight this past weekend?
I did. I was surprised. I felt like there wasn't as much MMA like media coverage or anything. I only saw one clip on Instagram where I'm like, I feel like his last couple fights I've been kind of bombarded on Instagram where it was just all of him. So I felt like it kind of went under the radar this time, but I did see that.
I almost like that. Because at first I was like, he's too in the, like it's too social media-y, and it's like, just develop yourself, man. And now it kind of seems like he's doing that. And
he looked bad.
He did?
Yeah. He
I didn't. I just saw that he won.
I watched the whole thing. It's like 4.5 minutes or whatever. One, he gets head kicked and he's in his prime and probably not dehydrated and whatever, so he just took it. But if Alexander Volkov does that, you probably don't take much of him. Or Cyril Gahn does that, you don't take a lot of them. And there's only so many you could take, huh?
This is third fight. This is when you should make those mistakes. Like,
no, but
I do this because we don't get to see Tom Aspinall's third professional fight.
He shouldn't take this much punishment against a guy like that, though. That's my point.
I will say though, I'm looking on his Tapology right now. The dude he fought was 11-3.
What the heck, Dave? What are you hating for?
So I'm like, that's a lot of experience against the 2-0 guy.
Yeah.
I went there to judge because I assumed he was going to fight scrubs because we were just talking earlier. I'm like, everybody's bum hunting. The fact that he fought an 11-3 dude, I'm kind of impressed. Like, he's fighting somebody tough.
And got a first round finish, David.
I made a mistake.
Look terrible.
I apologize. That's all I can do. I make mistakes and I apologize and I can move on. I'm mature enough to do that. I fail all the time, guys. I make mistakes.
I'm just gonna rub it in.
I know. Jeez. All right. I think we did it. Anything else? Anything else happening in your life? Anything with Goat Shed? Karate Combat was down there last week. Anything else going on?
I guess nothing too much. Just getting ready for this fight. That's really about it. Like, whenever I do have a fight coming up, that's about it. I'm like, we don't really do anything else besides go to the gym and then come home.
We're 19 days out?
Probably about that. I'm 3.5 or 2.5 weeks.
Yeah, 2.5 weeks. 2.5 weeks. Does that company do they sponsor you, the one that you've been doing on your Instagram stories about the pen?
Oh yeah, PAX. It's like a vape pen that I don't know, it's a dry bud vape. So it's like so you can smoke weed but stay healthy.
Jeez. That should be everyone's New Year's resolution in 2027.
Like this is my resolution right here.
Yeah. I can't wait for this fight. I cannot wait.
Oh, it's about 10 weeks too late.
Right.
Yeah. And then I think I'm going to make a vow to you. Not a wedding vow, but I'm going to make another vow to you. After this fight, the next 5 fights, I know you don't want me in the corner. I know we moved on from that. I know I'm not good enough on the mats to be in the corner, but I think the next 5 fights, I want to be there for sure live in the building. I can't miss another G fight live. I can't do it. All right.
No, that sounds good. I'm like, and honestly, with the Apex, I'm kind of a little bit more excited now because we got a little bit more people in there. So I'm like,
yeah.
Just having a bigger audience, I feel like is going to make a little bit of a difference too.
Yeah, for sure. So, hey, if I make that little first list for you, I want to be definitely down on it. If not, if I have to pay and get whatever, the next 5 fights, David Van Auken will be there live for this is it. This is the run that you and I on air and off air have been talking about for a long time. This is it. We're right there. It's 1 or 2 away and it's big main events, big championship fights, a lot of stuff. Can't wait. Anything else?
Dude, we haven't talked about Mexico City at all. We haven't talked. This has been a crazy show. Also, this is booked. Love Steven Asplund, but Vitor Petrino, is going to eat that man for lunch. That is scary, dude.
Johnny Walker versus Dominic Reyes. I love that fight.
There's awesome. Some good matchups, and honestly, there's heavyweight matchups that I'm excited for. I have a hot take about Mexico City, but we can let Gillian go if she needs to go.
Yeah, I do gotta get out of here.
All right, G, you're the best, dude. We appreciate you.
All right, thank you. So good to see you guys again.
Gillian the Savage Robertson.
I keep forgetting. So I thought that the background automatically changed when the number changed. Now I know that you hit the button because you don't have any of the buttons and it didn't change. So I had to go with
If you only knew how much I did.
Master of the Universe did have a question earlier about Cub Swanson fighting Nate Landwehr coming up.
Yeah.
I actually think it's going to be really fun. Cub is one of those guys that I feel like he's old, but he's still in the fight for the most part. So that should be a good time. I don't have like any feelings about that fight, but I think it should be fun. This is the only thing in the way of my hot take, Dave. And that is the elevation in Mexico City. But my hot take is I have a feeling about Loner Kavanaugh.
Wow.
I've been thinking about it all week. And I love Brandon Moreno. I think Brandon Moreno is one of the best flyweights of all time.
Yeah.
But
Sat next to his wife in Vegas.
he what?
Sat next to his wife on Vegas at UFC 325.
They're lovely. No, and I love it.
Nice people.
I got a feeling, man. Moreno just got finished for the first time since The Ultimate Fighter.
Quick turnaround.
Decently quick turnaround. I know this is short notice for Kavanaugh, but the guy, Tatsuro Taira, hits hard, explosive, athletic, good grappling. Loner Kavanaugh hits hard, explosive, athletic, good grappling. And sometimes these young, like he's young, he's hungry. And sometimes these young kids that step up on these super short notices, 26 years old, Joshua Van did it too. They just surprise people. And I don't know what it is, but I've just got a feeling that he might be able to get it done.
I got a feeling.
That's my, it's not like it's not an analytical hot take. It's just a feeling.
Those are my takes. I don't have any analytical hot takes. Those are just takes. I watch like in bed and be like, oh, that guy didn't eat his cereal the right way. That's who I'm picking. That's my takes.
Loner can get hit. I don't know if Moreno can like put him away though.
How about punches and how about like what Strickland did to Fluffy? Punches and bunches like that.
But you still need that one big shot to really hurt him, which I know he did to Kai Kara France. Yeah, but he's not known for that, you know? He needs that. I think you need that one big shot to really hurt him. Now, the elevation in the 5 rounds, that's the one thing that's like, but if he gets him out of there, like Tatsuro did, the 5 rounds would matter.
Okay.
But
okay.
Johnson's coming off of a loss, though. Somebody asked why Kavanaugh over Charles Johnson. I think.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
They both are coming off losses. Never mind. I forgot.
The reason why, the longer I'm in this, guys, there's agents involved and travel involved, and maybe Charles Johnson's like, yeah, I'll do it, but you have to pay me double because I'm the main event, and that's how my contract. And they're like, no, we don't want to. And Kavanaugh could have said, nope, pay me less money. I'm on the main event. You just, guys, there's so much stuff behind the scenes.
I don't think that's why. Charles Johnson's a team player. He's a company man. I think, Charles Johnson's already booked for March against Bruno Silva.
Sure.
Great freaking fight, by the way.
Yeah.
Also, even though he beat Kavanaugh, you have 2-1, young, exciting prospect versus in the UFC versus what is 7-6 in the UFC. It's like, even though I think Charles Johnson's a really good fighter, he's 35. He has not the best UFC record.
Yeah.
I
think
he's
a poster. He's on a poster.
I think Kavanaugh is a more enticing matchup, and he wasn't already booked. I don't think they wanted to lose another fight by booking Johnson if they didn't have to. You know, obviously this fight matters more than just a fight on the card. They needed to keep Brandon Moreno on this card, 100%. But it's still a good card, even other than the main event.
Can I give you my strongest take real quick on the card, and then you take it away? I got one take. I think I said this on the show 6 times. Ella's probably tired of the story. Man, me and Cheeto Vera and 7 other guys had a great night in Vegas. Maybe I had to deal with some plant-based medicine, and it was a very, very fun time. We watched Circus Soleil together. That's like a bonded moment for men. All right, I love Cheeto Vera. My hottest take is though, put your house mortgage on David Martinez in the co-main event. Like Martinez is a monster, and he's going like that. Love Cheeto, man. We had a great time. His career is like this, guys. Bet your mortgage on David Martinez. There you go.
My lock on the card is Francis Marshall.
Oh yeah, Marshall.
Dude's been out in Mexico City long time, ready to acclimating to the altitude. And Francis is probably in the most insane shape of any fighter I've ever met.
Really?
He is just a workhorse. He runs an obscene amount. Like he just has he's in phenomenal shape all the time. And he's been in Mexico City. I think this matchup against Silva is just a great matchup for Francis. It's just an opportunity for him to show off and he's been dying to fight. Like he's been waiting for a fight for so long. He's been getting so much better. So that's my lock of the card.
Can you do Martinez and Marshall in a parlay together? Do you have the
I don't have the odds pulled up, but I don't even know what the odds are, to be honest. I'm just saying he's my lock. Let me see.
So it's cold outside. Man, by the way, we had practice last night. 6U T-ball, 8U pitching machine. It was so cold outside. We're playing baseball, freezing. Crazy.
Okay. Dude, Kavanaugh's not even that big of a dog. Plus 185.
Huh?
Plus 185.
Wow. That's actually very small.
Martinez is a big favorite, though. Minus 250.
No, I would thought minus 400.
He's a stud, man.
Dude, he's so good.
I don't see odds on Francis.
No.
Fine now. Well, here we go. DraftKings. Francis is a massive favorite. So minus 750.
Oh my goodness.
To be honest, I don't know how he's going to get it done, so I can't help you there. I think Francis could win a decision. I think he could drop Silva earlier in the fight, but I'm not super confident either way. So I don't know that he's a lock, but I don't know if it's great value. Minus 750.
If you put those combined, 750 and 250, you're probably around minus 180, minus 200. So I'll bet $500 to win 220.
That's not terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's I was gonna say not good odds to bet on. Honestly, maybe if you're feeling extra froggy, do an extra part. I'm not super duper confident. I just have a feeling he might surprise people. Either way, it's really fun for at least the first 3 rounds. If Kavanaugh's exhausted 3 rounds,
You're freezing up on us, though. Freezing up on us. The last thing I'll say about Kavanaugh, and this might be it, so if L doesn't unfreeze on us, Kavanaugh could actually surprise people and look good, but still lose.
Yeah, that's a possibility for sure.
Oh, you're gonna.
That's a possibility for sure. I don't know.
Yeah.
I just got a feeling, man. And I was really surprised to see the odds that close.
Yeah, that means that means they think he can win. Like this is a close fight.
Yeah, no, and I agree. I think it is. But anywho, okay, we kind of talked about. Oh, this is a great fight. Talbot and Corey Sandhagen. Oh, that's.
Did that get announced?
I have no idea. Is that booked, or are you just saying you want to see it? Because I want to see that.
What? I've been on air. I got no phone. I'm dying here.
That is a great fight if that's booked.
Dude, UFC's on fire right now. They are. The spring is coming. Spring to summer is coming.
All right.
Hey, one last thing. On June 14th, are we going to Washington, D.C.? Have we talked about this?
Nope.
Are we?
Down? You want to call me in 5 minutes?
I'll call you in 5 minutes. All right, guys. Hey.
Ostrom says it's not booked. He just wants to see it. You got me excited.
I know. You got me pumped. I was going to make an artwork for it.
I think that's an amazing fight. I would love to see that. I think that would be a banger. Dave is bummed now. All right. We love you guys. Thanks for joining us for just the most chaotic show ever. Dave will fix his internet. I might. We'll figure it out. We love you guys. Am I pushing the button?
You got to. I got no buttons here.
I push the button. Okay, we love you guys.